It's official, Brock here. It's official, Brock here.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the It's Official Brock's Here podcast presented by Brock Lane Films. Episode 2. We're back for episode 2. We made it to episode 2. Thank you for listening to episode 1. If you listened to episode 1, I'm so grateful for you listening. Got a lot of good feedback, but also people are like, what the heck are you doing? And I'm just going to keep doing it. I fixed my levels. We got the levels are up now. I had no idea what I was doing before, so that's why the levels were down. Just kind of figured it out myself, and it sounds a lot better. So I did some research, and I found out that there is another podcast called The Official Podcast. And they do a great job. I listened to a couple other videos in their podcast, and so I'm naming mine the It's Official Brock's Here podcast, presented by Brock Lane Films, because I don't want to have to create all new profiles, Instagrams, Facebooks, YouTubes. I kind of just want this to live on my Brock Lane Film stuff, and because honestly, a lot of people, they just see my videos and my sports videos, and that's kind of it. Like, they don't really know who I am, what I do, and it's kind of like a mystery, because I'm just kind of like the man behind the camera, the man behind the curtain. And this one time, this guy, I remember I was in York, and this guy, he was talking to another guy, and he goes, oh, like, that's Brock Lane. And he's like, what? Like, that's Brock Lane Films? And the guy was like, man, he's like, I thought you were black. And I was like, what? Like, that's a crazy assumption to have on somebody, but okay. And he's like, yeah, because you always put the rap and hip hop music in your videos, and I just assumed you were black. And I was like, nope, really white. Not black at all, but thank you. It was nice to meet you too. And I think that was the end of the conversation. We might have talked a little bit after, I don't know, but people just don't know who I am, and I kind of want this to not only highlight me, but because that sounds very selfish. The goal of this whole podcast thing is to, for one, just talk about positivity. That's the main goal, is just to spread positivity. And two is to get some guests on here that have influenced me, who I feel like can influence a whole generation of people. I talked to 2 people about getting them on here, and they kind of said yes, but they kind of said no, and that's fine. They don't see the vision yet, and you got to start somewhere. So here I am, episode 2 of the It's Official Brock's Here podcast, and man, it's been it's been cool so far. I like doing this. It feels good. It feels good, but also feels very weird and awkward, and that people are listening to me. And my friend last night, I heard you got a podcast, and I was like, yep. And so that's gonna be the quote said to me probably the most in the next couple of weeks and months, but it is what it is. So so the title of this podcast is gonna be called Whoops. Because this happened to me, this incident happened to me, it was like a week ago. I was in Sheetz, the gas station, and I needed change, so I went and got a 20 out of the ATM, and then I went and got a drink, and went to the counter, paid for the drink, didn't realize what I got as change, got out to my car, and realized I only got $7 back. So that drink was pretty expensive. And so I go back in, and the it was a different cashier there. It was a lady. Before it was a guy, a kid, and the lady was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Common mistake. It is what." And she was like, "Who did it? Or who was the guy that did it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's that guy right there." And point to this guy, and she goes, "Hey, so and so, you forgot to give this guy." She goes, "I don't know if you were." She goes, actually, no, she assumed he was in a rush. She goes, "I'm sure you were in a rush, but you forgot to give him his 10 back." And he looks at me, he glances at me, looks at her, and goes, "Whoops," and then just walks away. And I was just like, "What?" And I was just like, she was just like, "I'm so sorry about that," and I was like, "It's fine." And I walked out, and then I got to my car, and I was like, "Whoops!" Like, what do you mean, whoops? Like, and you could tell he was pissed. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if it was like the beginning of his night or the end of his night, because it was later at night. It was like 10:30 p.m. on like a weekday. So I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. But for him to say "whoops," I was just so baffled by that. Like, and then I inserted it into other situations of like, "Well, forgot to pay the mortgage. Whoops, honey," or forgot to get gas. Whoops, now here I am on the side of the highway, and it was just funny. It was a funny interaction with this guy, and when when you're in customer service like that, that's probably not the best thing to say. So yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, but that was like the funniest thing that has happened to me in a while, and it was just it was just funny, and I was just baffled by what he said. But yeah, so I have this video, and I want to show it because it's a sports video, and it's this kid that I saw on Instagram that he's an ambidextrous quarterback. Now, for those who don't know what ambidextrous means that, well, in like simple terms, you can use your right and your left are just as strong. Your right is just as strong as your left. I don't know like the official definition. I didn't look it up, but that's kind of like the simple way of putting it. So this kid, he's in high school and he's an ambidextrous quarterback. So I'm gonna play this video and like just like right, left, right, and then with the left, like how insane would this be on the football field? Being able to throw like that is just like I love that like being able to throw it and then throw across. Like, I just don't understand this because it feels like, so I'm predominantly right-handed, well, right-sided, I guess you would say, because I'm right-footed and I'm right-handed, and it's as if because I was thinking about this the other day when I saw this, I was like, it's as if my whole left side is paralyzed. Like, I can't do anything with my left side. Like, writing, no. Kicking, and like I can do things with it. Like, I can kick a soccer ball. I could throw something left-handed, but it looks like a freaking 5-year-old is doing it. Like, I don't understand like the whole like how that even, I guess when you're a kid you just focus on, and I don't even ever remember this, but I guess you just focus on your strong side, and then you just don't work on the left, or you don't work on the opposite side. And yeah, because like I look like so stupid doing some things, whereas some people, for instance, like skateboarding. So, you skate one way, you skate with either your right foot forward, which is goofy, or your left foot forward, which is regular. And some people, I mean, they call it switch, where they could do, a kickflip with their right foot forward and then a kickflip with your left foot forward. And that just like blows my mind. And that's like the new norm. Like skating switch and doing big things switch is like the new norm for that. And like I can't even, so I'm goofy footed, I'm right foot forward, and I can pop an ollie, I can do a 180, I can do simple stuff. But when I get on it with my left foot forward, it is as if I've never skateboarded before. And same thing with basketball. Like I remember playing basketball, and I would hate I would hate before a game, and you're in the layup line and you got to go to the left side. And because I could do a really good right hand layup, but like the whole like mechanics of even just like going off my right foot with my left hand, like it doesn't match up with my mind. I guess my mind and my body doesn't match up. And I don't understand. So if you're ambidextrous, kudos to you. I'm very jealous of you, and I wish I learned this more when I was younger. But here I am, 30, and I can't do anything with my left side. So I mean, it is what it is. It's not like I'm in a life or death situation because of this, but it's just interesting to see that like some people are like that. And that's the first type of video I've ever seen of somebody doing that, like an ambidextrous quarterback being able to throw right and left. Like that was insane. So that just like blew my mind. Something else that just blew my mind, yesterday, I found out that there is such thing as Wi-Fi light bulbs. Now, I didn't think about this, but I was saying this to my friend last night, and he was saying about, now some people might think you buy those and you have Wi-Fi. And I was like, well, at least I didn't think about that, which is good. But no, you need Wi-Fi you need your own Wi-Fi for these to work. And yeah, so my coworker has one and he's gonna give it to me, but I just went out to Walmart and I bought an LED strip because I want to put something behind my TV to like illuminate the back and put different colors and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I have Wi-Fi light bulbs. And I'm like, what? Wi-Fi light bulbs? What do you mean? And he like pulled out his app, and he was able to like he turned his light on and off at his house, and you can change the color, a bunch of different colors. And I was just like, what? Like the technology that is out there right now. And like he told me this story of his, and I'm gonna tell the story, but his wife didn't wake up for work, and he was able to go onto his app, turn on all the lights, turn the lights on like a strobe, and then he was able to use his like Google Home thing like a intercom, and was like, wake up, like, honey, wake up. And she woke up. She was able to wake up before work. But I was just like, wow, dude, like we are in the future, bro. That is some futuristic stuff right there. Being able to control your lights from your house, like that is, or from your phone, like that is insane. And he has, I want to get this too, but I want to get the whole, I mean, I know everybody has it now, but like the ring camera front home security system thing. Like that is just like so cool. And like he, anytime like he'll get a package or something, like he gets a notification, you could see the front of the house. And I'm just like, dude, that is so freaking cool. Like I love technology. Like stuff like that just like blows me away. And I wish I could just live forever so I could just see all the technology that is about to take over, like the electric cars and the Elon with the underground tunnels. I mean, that's already a thing, I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, we are living in some cool times, and I'm like super grateful to hear about that type of stuff and be involved with it. But yeah, so what else do I got? So I have so my buddy, will go. His name is was photography name is Attorney J Sports, and he is a photographer in my area in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and he's a predominantly sports photographer. He's been doing sports photography for years and years. I remember being in high school, and him coming and taking pictures of our game, and this is back before social media. He would take the pictures and then he would upload them, and that next day, like waiting at the computer for him to like upload these pictures was always like so fun. And getting to see the pictures, and because that's all we had back then, like these especially what I do, putting out weekly edits of the York High kids, like they are so blessed. Like I remember, I mean, just 10 years ago, we were doing football videos where, there was no social media. Like YouTube was a thing, but it wasn't a thing. Like people put like their home videos on YouTube, like, and so, that just wasn't a thing. So, but what we did back in the day was, you film the whole season, and then you put a whole video together, and then you premiere it like a movie premiere. And that was just how we did it. You didn't see the footage until that a whole. I mean, depending on how long it took to edit, like a whole like year later. So these kids are super blessed, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that for them, and to be able to be. I mean, this year I kind of did that where I filmed the whole season, and I made a little video recently at the end, and but being able to see that footage right away was is awesome now. Speaking of my video, my high school video, I lost it. My high school football video, I lost it in the midst of, I guess, moving. So if any of the guys from that football team is listening now, which we know you are, we know you're listening. I need a copy of that video. I want to try to put it on YouTube. I contacted Merdal, our old teacher, to see if he had it. He never got back to me yet, but I wanna put that on YouTube because like I said, that was back before YouTube. So just being able to watch it whenever you want, like, is something that I really want to do. So if you have any type of leads on that, please contact me, and I want to get a hold of that. Anyways, so I just went off on a huge tangent, but Attorney J, so local sports photographer. We actually got to work together. Him and I worked together. It was probably like a year ago, a little over a year ago, where he took pictures of me, and pictures came out awesome. Also, if you're looking for, he does portraits, and then his main thing he does is sports photography. But I never got to talk to him about this, but I'm assuming he's a man of faith because he'll comment on my stuff, faith related, and I put the video out, I put the podcast out last week, and he commented and said, "Excellent, period. I would love to hear about how you found God, in parentheses, or how he found you, and what your spiritual walk with God is like." So I'm going to answer that. I'd love to hear about how you found God. So, growing up, we always went to church as a family, and then I would say around like 7, I don't even know how old I was, like 7 or 8 probably, we just like stopped going. I don't know what the reason was. I don't know why. I think we just, we were more, that sounds horrible. We were more into sports. We wanted to watch football. I think just like life got busy on weekends. I know like for football in elementary, your games are on Sunday. And I don't know, I guess life just got busy. So I always believed in God. And just that alone, was gave me, my faith in God. But when I was 7, and so actually, I'll take it back. So that happened, but then in first grade, I met my childhood best friend, and his dad was a pastor. So, we would always, if you slept over on Saturday, you had to go to church on Sunday. And so we were always involved. I was always involved with the church from first grade to, basically 10th grade, with them, and, going to events like Creation. Like we went to Creation probably 3 or 4 times in a row, just different church events. But at that time, it was more about just like having a good time. Cause you're in middle school, you're like running around. Like I remember we would have to sit through the sermon, but then like after we'd be like running in the cemetery or like playing in the basement. And it wasn't about, it wasn't about, Jesus. It was about us and, our satisfaction and, having fun on our own terms. And so, just being around it was good. I definitely met a lot of awesome people in that time period, and I'm super grateful for all those people. And I would love to see some of them now, especially on the walk that I am now, because I totally, after I stopped seeing them, I went in a whole different direction. So then when I was in 10th, 11th grade, kind of stopped hanging out with that friend as much. And then I got new friends, and those new friends were starting to get into the whole drinking and doing drugs. And back in those days, I was a follower. I was never a leader in any type of aspect. So I just went with the crowd. And so, 17 started, that's when I started drinking. Just started out drinking and smoking weed. And then, that's when I would say I stopped seeking God. because even though we were just having fun at those church events when I was younger, like I was still seeking after the Lord, because we were still, we'd be at these, especially at creation, like, you hear these like amazing sermons, and, you definitely feel that. You feel that Holy Spirit in you. And so through that, I guess I subconsciously like knew that God was always with me. So then, my fast forward, from 17 to 27, I was just drinking, doing my own thing, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Like that was what I was into. And there was no type of God in any of that aspects, and there wasn't any. And it's not that I didn't want God there. It's like I knew God was just kind of like shaking his head, so I just like didn't even think about it. Like God wasn't on my mind ever when I was doing the things that I was doing. Um, so so then a funny story is, right before I turned when I was 17, before I started to really get into drinking and drugging, I think I just had started because those friends like came to my tattoo appointment. But I got a tattoo, my first tattoo when I was 17. It says faith on my ribs, and it was as if like it was like the protection. It was like God's, like it was like a shield. It was as if, now thinking back, it was like the shield that kind of protected me, from everything that was trying to attack me. The enemy was, me and the devil were like besties. We were friends, and like I liked hanging out with the devil. Like we had some good times, but with that, it comes a lot of bad when you hang out with the enemy and the devil. A lot of bad instances happened because of that. But I truly believe that God was protecting me through those 10 years. And when it came time to fully surrender, he was like, okay, God, he was right there. I'll never forget the day that I surrendered. I was listening to Ultralight Beam by Kanye West, where it goes, we on the ultralight beam, we on the ultralight beam, this is a God dream, this is a God's dream, this is everything. And wow, I wasn't expecting to do that. But at the end of that, actually, let me find this, because this was what really kind of set me. Okay, so this is when I was at my bottom. Right before I got sober. This is when I was at the bottom. I was literally on the bottom surface, and I heard that song, Ultralight Beam, and at the end there is a prayer, and this, I don't know. I would love to find out who the pastor was that said this, or who said this. But he goes, Father, this prayer is for everyone that feels they're not good enough. This prayer is for everybody that feels like they're too messed up. For everyone that feels they've said, I'm sorry too many times. You can never go too far when you can't come back home again. And I was like, damn. Ooh. Like that hit me right in the heart. My heart is like pumping right now, because just hearing that, this Father, this prayer is for everyone that feels they're not good enough. Check. This prayer is for everyone that feels like they're too messed up. Check. For everybody that feels they said I'm sorry too many times. A big check. You can never go too far when you can't come home again. And that just like, damn, like that hit me because I was on the run. This is after, you know, I went to Texas, and I'm just like, I'm feeling so lost. I'm feeling so just like so messed up in so many aspects of my life. And I'll never forget. There was a there was a church sermon on the beach, and after hearing this song, hearing this prayer, I said a very simple prayer. I said, God, please help me. I can't do this anymore. That's it. That's all I said. I'm sure I said amen, but I was just like something very simple like that. And after that, I went to this church sermon on the beach and just bawled my eyes out. And I bawled my eyes out hearing that. So I heard that, and then I drove to the church sermon. And on the way to the church sermon, I was just bawling my eyes out because, like, it was as if like the devil in me was just washing away. That's what I'm thinking of right now. I'm getting that vision right now of like the devil in me was just washing away, and going to that church sermon and seeing all the people there and being on the beach was just like, and I think I have a picture. I think I have a video actually, so maybe I'll post that on here.
I know it's early in the service, but it's never too early to receive Christ. Maybe there's someone here today that said, Bishop, you were talking to me.
I was in shambles that day. I was straight up messed up. And, you know, that was also, so it was like the devil kind of leaving me and then the Holy Spirit coming through. And, you know, it was at that moment that I felt like I was coming home, and not coming home in a physical sense, because I did do that. I did go home, but coming home in a spiritual sense as, you know, I was coming back into the hands of God. And that just felt relieving. I felt freedom in that. I felt so many emotions in that. That is like, it was like a father. It was like I ran away from my father for so many years, and coming back home to your father, your dad, and, you know, just feeling that love, that instant love, you know, that it didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter what I did those 10 years. You know, that's in the past. It's about the present and what I'm doing now. That I felt from God. Like I felt that love. I felt that hug, that, you know, I felt him embrace me. And that was just an insane feeling. Like that was so, and that was what I needed. I needed that because for so long, you know, in the beginning it was, you know, in the beginning of drinking and doing drugs, like it was awesome. Like it was great. I had a great time. But then they say, you know, it's fun with problems, and then just problems. You know, towards the end, like I was alone. I was by myself. No, you know, I threw away all my friends, all my friendships, all that. Like that went out the window. And so, you know, when you're alone like that for so long, like, and finally throwing your hands up and surrendering, like it's the most amazing feeling ever. And if you're going through that right now, like I encourage you to just surrender. Like surrender. And there's this one song that goes, I surrender, I wanna know you. I think that's how it goes. But dang, I'm just singing up a storm. Like just surrender, like come home. That's all I'm gonna say is come home, because he's been waiting. And I kind of related to my situation with my son. And I was not there. I wasn't there in the beginning. And maybe I'll tell that story on here one day. But I wasn't there. And through me surrendering, I was able to not only receive my spiritual father back into my life, my physical father back into my life. I was able to become a father because of that. And that is just, that is all praise to him. Like, that is all praise to God. By the grace of God, like, I was able to break free of those chains that were on me, because there was so many chains were just wrapped around me, that I put on myself. I didn't, like, I put those chains on myself. I put the chains on, locked it, and threw the key away, because I thought, like, that's just that's what it is. It is what it is. And I that's what really took me. Those chains, like, took me down. And there's that one, the book about Drop the Rock. I never read it, but I hear there's a story in there of being in the ocean with this rock, and you're drowning with the rock, and to be able to come back up to the surface, you have to drop the rock. And that's kind of what I did. I was able to finally drop the rock and find the key. And the key is God. It's Jesus. It's the Holy Spirit. It's all that. It's all that in one. And being able to finally, unlock that, and unlock that freedom, the freedom that came when I finally when I finally unlocked that, was insane. And just the past 3 years have just been, it always hasn't been the best, but I've experienced a lot of great achievements. I'm not anywhere I want to be in life right now, but I'm grateful for where I'm at right now. I'm okay with where I'm at right now. I think I spoke last podcast about, I was always so worried about the future and always worried about the past. And now I don't think about that stuff. I think about right now and what I have right now, and not materialistic things. I don't think about that stuff anymore, because that used to run me. The wanting, the cars, the mansions, the bikes, the girls. I wanted all of that, because that's what I saw at a very young age when I turned my TV on. I at age like 7, maybe that's why I left the church. I wanted to watch MTV. That's why I left. I wanted to watch MTV, and the Lord was not on MTV. And so I got engulfed into that society's norms of you gotta have this car, you gotta build this house, you gotta have this supermodel wife. And I sit here today. For one, I don't have any of that. So maybe that's a reason why I believe that that's all. It's all fake, anyways. But I don't need that stuff to be happy. And realizing that stuff doesn't matter. Like, that you don't take your Ferrari to heaven with you. You take the memories, and like, people are only going to remember you from the memories. And if they remember you as an a-hole, I saw this shirt today. Oh my God, what did it say? He goes, the shirt said, I'm the nicest asshole you've ever met. And I'm like, for one. Like I just like looked, read it real quick, and then just like turned the corner. But I was just like why, dude? Why be an asshole? Why? For what? For what reason? You know, people have said to me before, they go like, do you ever get mad? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course, I'm human. I have, you know, emotions, and, you know, emotions run high sometimes, but like, it takes a lot to get me mad. Like, it takes a lot to really get me fired up, per se. And I just don't see, like, just be a good person. Be kind. Be nice. Like, there's so, like, we have such little time. Our timeline on Earth is like this. It's like that. And people, you know, they just take this life for granted. And that's another big thing I'm just like realizing is just like to just embrace the moment. Embrace, you know, that I said, so I bought tickets to, this was a while ago. I bought tickets to a Washington Wizards game, and the tickets were like $200 each. And my friend was like, God, that's a lot. And I was like, yeah, but, you know, it's about the experience. You know, it is a lot of money, but it's more for the experience, and I'd rather have more experiences than materialistic things nowadays. Having that experience with somebody can last way longer than our lifetime. Excuse me. Yeah, so I hope I answered the question. I feel like I did. Let me see here. How you found God and how God found you. Yeah, so, yeah, I found God because I was running away from him. And then he never lost me. He was always there. And then I just came back. I came home. So, yeah, I'm super grateful. I'm trying to see. I set a timer. The last time I didn't set the timer. Where's the? Hold on, wait. Maybe it's on here. Oh my gosh. Whatever. I don't know, because it doesn't tell me on here how long this is. I don't even know. I don't know how long this has been going. But, I think it's been like 30 minutes. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, yeah, so like I said, I'm reaching out to people. I want people to be on this podcast. I want to be able to share people's stories, because I know that like they've influenced me a lot. So I want, you know, their stories to influence everyone else. So I'm on the hunt for speakers. And in the meantime, though, just thank you for listening. And I'm wearing this T-shirt right now. It's the official Brock Lane Films T-shirt. You can get that at brocklaneFilms.com. If you have problems getting it, just talk to me, because I don't know. People have ordered off there before and they got it, but I haven't used it in so long, and I don't even know if it still works. But I have the T-shirts here, so if you have a problem, just get in contact with me, and we can get that all settled out. But yeah, thank you for listening to this. Like, it means the world to me, and we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna see where it takes us, but Brock Lane Films for every single Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Brock Lane Films. Subscribe, like, comment, all that. Do all that, and we're gonna keep going, because you never know. You never know what could happen. I don't know. We're gonna see. But that's it. Thanks for listening. It's official. Brock's here.